Hallo und willkommen zu Lone Star. Wir spielen Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, The London Case.
Gentlemen, you're back.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Detective Hercule Poirot of the Kingdom of Belgium's police force.
You should have led with that before. Nathaniel Dryden, editor of the London Illustrated News.
My apologies. I was not aware of your position on our initial meeting.
That's quite all right. You were still more polite than most of the people that come through my door. What can I do for you?
You interviewed Monsieur Aylesworth yesterday, correct?
I did, but that was supposed to be an exclusive. How did you know?
It is a detective's job to know such things.
Doesn't really explain how, but okay. He said he had something to tell me that was going to blow me away. I couldn't say no.
Was Mademoiselle Farquhar present at the time?
Indeed she was, although she was working on her own story, so I left her to it.
At no point did she leave the office?
She's a very hard worker and won't leave until the story is just how she wants it. Needless to say, she outstayed me. She had photographs to develop too, so was in the dark room for some time. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but I have another appointment, if you don't mind.
Naja, das könnte auch ja nicht stimmen mit den Bildern. Has Mademoiselle Farquhar had any visitors to the office?
This place is usually full of all sorts that think they have a story for us, or want to know more about something we've published. I was meaning to mention that to Florence, actually.
Mention what, monsieur?
A young foreign girl came in asking about a piece that was on show at the museum. Originated in Eastern Europe somewhere, and Florence had written an article on it.
Did she say why she was so interested?
She said she was researching its journey from its first home with an affluent family. I forget the name. I couldn't tell her much more, besides that it was going to be moved from the museum shortly. No doubt into another exhibition somewhere.
Could this inquisitive young woman have been Mademoiselle Babagna? But why so curious about that particular piece of jewelry?
Merci. You have been most accommodating.
Vielleicht hat uns das Gespräch gefehlt. Desk Drawer. Ach komm, wenn mal keiner da ist. Also, sie raucht auch irgendwas Komisches. Schauen wir uns erstmal dieses Bild an. She was obviously unaware that Mademoiselle Farquhar was present with her camera. Rather hard to see, even when held against the light. Camera film. Jetzt ist er verschwunden. Check from Irene. Address from Mademoiselle Kortsmith, but in exchange for what? Number 843525, the London and Provincial Bank Limited. Pay to Miss Florence Farquhar. To the sum of £50 sterling. Miss Irene Kortsmith. Ja, wie viel ist denn das? Newspaper office window. Camera film found at Mademoiselle Farquhar's workstation. Ich wollte gerade sagen, da sind mehrere drauf, aber das sind anscheinend die einzelnen Bilder.
Sacre. What is the meaning of this? It is the missing painting, and this photograph is identical to one that had been burnt in the fire.
Da ist der Dark Room. Erstmal mit Hastings reden.
What do you need? What can I do?
Aber
I will not take up.
Er weiß gerade nichts. Wenigstens steht er jetzt nicht im Weg. Also, this could contain valuable evidence. Its disappearance will be too obvious. I should return it to where it was found. Ah, jetzt hat er nichts zurückgegeben. Mal gucken, ob die jetzt fertig sind. Ich habe nämlich keine Ahnung, wie wir noch was finden sollen. Nee. Ja.
I do not mean to interrupt.
Then
Mademoiselle,
I'm in the middle.
I really must...
That was incredibly unprofessional, Detective.
Ah, toll, jetzt habe ich es weggeklickt. Dabei hat er sie unterbrochen.
If we are to discuss professionalism, perhaps we should talk about your work with Mademoiselle Court Smythe.
I think you've got me confused with...
Enough, Mademoiselle. It is time for the truth.
I know that Mademoiselle Court-Smythe did not act alone.
You don't think I was involved?
Please do not feign ignorance, Mademoiselle. Where did Mademoiselle receive her inspiration to make her forgeries? I remind you that I stand before you as a detective. It would be wise not to continue this charade any longer. Poirot, maybe we should... Monsieur Hastings, if Mademoiselle Farquhar requires someone to speak in her defense, she can contact a lawyer.
That won't be necessary. She asked me to photograph certain pieces of art, that's all. I didn't know what she was doing with them. I swear.
Why did she choose you?
I have no idea. I thought she was just trying to help my career. And I needed it.
Your career does not appear to need the help of a criminal.
She had such confidence. She knew all the right things to say.
And she got exactly what she wanted from you.
I was financially dependent on her. She paid for the lifestyle that I had found myself in. That she pushed me into.
Ja, für so ein bisschen Fotografieren von Bildern. Sehr seltsam.
Couldn't you have just said no to her?
And risk her exposing me for what I had done.
Okay, sie hat es also gewusst,
She
dass
was
sie
the
das
one
gemacht
holding all the
hat.
cards. I had no way of proving it was all her plan. I had no other choice but to do what she said.
Damit hat sie allerdings auch ein Mordmotiv.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Echt? Betty.
I am sorry to have interrupted your interview earlier.
By the looks of it, what you were saying was much more exciting. Care to spill?
Nee, nicht wirklich.
Perhaps we should stick to my questions to you.
Echt? Ich habe gar keine Fragen.
You have been most helpful.
Are you kidding me? Ich brauche diesen Schlüssel, um in das Musikzimmer reinzukommen.
You're just full of...
Nein,
You have been most...
ich wollte eigentlich ihn, aber den darf ich nicht auswählen. Zack. Nee? Na super. Was ist denn jetzt eigentlich... Ah, das Menü. Ich hasse es. Inspect. Jones Apartments. Sind wir immer noch nicht fertig. Anastasia ist weg. Inspect Betty's Dressing Room. Schon wieder. Also. Jewelry Box.
Ah.
Haben wir den Ring noch dabei? Hätte ich mir das jetzt merken sollen, was in diesem blöden Ring gestanden ist? Ich glaube 1412, oder?
Aha.
Order and method prevail again. A torn piece of paper. Fire. To I read this. Surely cannot be English. Fire to Harry in. Also muss man nachschauen in dem anderen Buch.
If it is, it's been written by someone that hasn't quite grasped the English language yet. Fire to Irene. Some kind of instruction to commit arson.
It seems too obvious, but that does not mean it is wrong.
Wrong. My beloved, as much as it pains to be so far from you, your words are enough at least to give me some comfort before you will be in my arms again. I spoke with my father. He couldn't be happier of us, and we have his blessing. I know you wanted to be here when we told him the good news, but I just couldn't wait. I have everything crossed for you tonight. Not that you need it. Break a leg, mince cat, clam, jay. What? I would not have expected to see such heartfelt words from Monsieur Christensen, even to his wife. Also den Namen kann ich nicht aussprechen. Christensen. So. Oh Mann, der arme Vogel.
Oh.
Okay. Heißt es, wir müssen jetzt erstmal wieder in die Study zurück, den Zettel anwenden und dann nochmal hierher. Das ist aber ganz schön viel Hin- und Hergereise. Wenn man da mal die ganzen Kilometer zusammenzählt, die wir jetzt an einem Tag unterwegs sind, dann fragt man sich auch, echt, jetzt schon wieder hier? So, wo war das Buch? Ich glaube, hier in der Schublade. Po ist 2. Fire ist 4. 2. Na super. Was war das andere? Habe ich den blöden Zettel dabei wenigstens? Wo ist eigentlich mein Inventar? Hier. Also 4, 2. 4, 2. Bräuchte ich Irene. Gibt's aber nicht. Kann ich das jetzt nicht irgendwie benutzen? Vor allem, dass es gar nicht mehr angezeigt wird hier, das Feld. Hier ist noch dein Ding, aber hier kann ich einfach ins Nichts klicken und dann macht er das Ding an.
Oh.
Also Iron finden wir nicht. Höchstens nochmal ein Vierer. Dann eine 1. 4, 2, 4, 1 vielleicht. Alter, hier geht's ja nicht rein. Müssen wir vielleicht mit Hastings reden. Vielleicht hilft das ja, aber ich habe so meine Zweifel.
What do you need? What can
I will not take up any.
You're just full of questions, aren't you?
You have been most helpful.
Okay. Combination. Okay, ich gebe eine 4. There are not enough hours in the day to try even every combination at random. Order method are the key. Da sind nur Buchstaben drauf. Seltsam. Ich gäbe jetzt wieder Zahlen, wenn ich das übersetzen will mit dem Buch. Aber wir brauchen Buchstaben. Aber ich kann die auch nicht anwenden. Wieder ins Menü gekommen. Ja, ich fürchte, ich muss das ein bisschen zusammenschneiden, weil ich muss jetzt wieder zurück. Und obwohl das nur eine Schnellreise entfernt ist, muss ich mich hier total entlang klicken. Vielleicht müssen wir erstmal hier in das Notepad schauen. It fits! Fire to dreht and its origin cannot be from the English language, but where? Okay, jetzt kann ich dann damit auf die andere Seite. Aber hier habe ich nichts, um das mit zu benutzen.
Several hours later.
Wir gehen mal kurz ins Museum. Anastasia, oder wie sagt er immer so schön?
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Is everything all right? Do not worry. It will not be long before the murderer is brought to justice.
It's not that. I just cannot understand how such historically relevant pieces like this remain in British hands. It doesn't belong here.
I'm sorry, mademoiselle. I do not have the answer. I'm sure they are well maintained, if that is any consolation.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sure this is the last thing you wish to be talking about. Is there something I can help you with?
What were your movements following the gala?
Well, after it was all cut short rather abruptly, we made our way to Mrs. Allen's play.
Oui, mademoiselle?
Mr. Demir and myself. We were all at a loose end and he was kind enough to invite me.
I wonder if you could explain this photograph for me.
Oh, I wasn't aware Mr. Hastings was to be the focus of Florence's article.
On the contrary, it is only one of many she took at the gala. What interests me is the brooch.
Would you believe I found it? Amazing how careless some people can be.
And you were intending on returning it?
Of course. It just slipped my mind with all the commotion of the painting.
Mademoiselle Kortsma no longer requires it. I shall hold on to it for now.
Genau, so wie sie da vorher auch drauf aufgepasst hat. Your sudden disappearance from the museum.
Yes. And it was something that I wanted to speak with you about, actually. At the gala, I spoke with the bishop and he mentioned a painting he had seen last year. But it was one that I'd read had been stolen. He couldn't have seen it when he said, unless...
You should not have taken matters in your own hand.
I stayed well back, and the bishop is hardly the most threatening. I followed him into his church, but he was gone. I looked everywhere, but he was nowhere to be seen. It was like he just evaporated.
He is a man of God, not a magician.
I don't know what to say. He wasn't there. I decided to wait outside, but when he eventually left, he had a wrapped package under his arm.
You have been most helpful, mademoiselle. I shall not take up any more of your time.
Irene's brooch, oder wie sagt er, brooch, belonged to Mademoiselle Kortsmiles, but why would it be here? Ah. Okay. Das ist so halb abgerissen. Das kann also vielleicht gar kein I sein. Könnte auch ein anderer Buchstabe sein. Hm. Hey, okay, dann gehen wir mal zurück. Wie oft wir da in das Zimmer rein und rausgehen. Unglaublich. Also schauen wir hier nochmal rein. Also die ersten zwei wissen wir. Das ist Fire 4, 2 und jetzt ist es... Es könnte auch Tre sein, statt dem Ihre und dann EN. 4, 2, 3... 4, 2, 3, 1? Okay. Das ist ja fast so wie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Das ist ja der totale... Ein vollkommener Vollidiot würde so eine Nummer für seinen Koffer benutzen. 4, 2, 3, 1. Voila! Aber da ist den Schlüssel für den... Doggy.
Oh.
A canine makes for a worthy addition to any family. It's clear that the letter was written some time ago, while they were courting. Madame Ellen states what she values most about him. My dearest Joan, New York just isn't the same without you. In a city full of millions, there's only one that I wanted by my side. Last night's show was a great hit. I think I have the record for the longest applause in the whole show. I miss looking out into the crowd of unknown faces and seeing you staring back. Just having you close gives me a sense of calm, and we both know sometimes I need that. Did you speak with my father's colleague, Bill Cairns? He will be able to find us the perfect apartment in London. I know we don't have a date set in stone yet, or a ring, but I just can't wait to spend the rest of my life with the kindest and most honest man. Write me back as soon as you get this. Betty. XXX. 3 kisses. Poirot, the handwriting doesn't match what I've seen of Madame Ellen. This must have come from another woman. J. The day will soon come when we can be together and everything you speak of will no longer just be a dream. Until then, we must continue to keep our relationship hidden. The flowers that arrived at the studio for me were beautiful, but signs of affection such as those will surely raise suspicion. And signing your initials? It is mistakes like those will ruin everything. I will write again when the time is right. Until then, my love. I. Double X. Also gibt es nur 2 Kisse. Er hat also ein Verhältnis gehabt. Das Schwein. Ja, aber das macht die Tür jetzt auch nicht auf, oder?
What do you need?
The Mystery Lover of Mademoiselle Kortsmais. Wissen wir da was?
The argument with Irene at the gala and then with his wife after.
Madame Hélène had uncovered their relationship. But even with this revelation, what still remains a mystery is Monsieur Christiansen's involvement with the theft.
Inspect Betty's dressing room. Da geht's aber noch nicht weiter.
What do you need? What can
I will not take...
Sehr seltsam. Tja. Weiß auch nicht, vielleicht sollte man mal mit dir nochmal reden. Es geht nur ins Museum. Wir gehen mal zurück ins Museum. In den West Wing will er nicht. Exhibition Room will er auch nicht. Tja. Aber mit ihr geredet haben wir eigentlich schon um was Neues. Weiß nicht, ob sie da was weiß. Wir müssen also weiter uns in dem Apartment umschauen. Das machen wir nicht mehr heute. Machen wir an dieser Stelle lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.